I gave my husband exactly 10 seconds to choose between his wealthy mother or my kids. If he made the wrong choice in that ballroom, our marriage was over right then and there. When I married Jake 3 years ago, I brought 2 beautiful kids into the picture. Mia, who was 9, and little Sam, who was just 4. Jake embraced them instantly, but his wealthy old money family, that was a totally different story. His mother, Eleanor, is the kind of woman who smiles to your face, but stabs you in the back with a silver spoon. The red flag started at our very first family Christmas. Eleanor has this massive stone fireplace hung with gorgeous hand-knitted stockings for all the grandchildren, with their names beautifully embroidered in gold thread. Mia and Sam, they got plain red felt socks from the dollar store, with their names written in black Sharpie. Jake was furious, but Eleanor just waved her hand and said, "Oh please, custom orders take months, and I just wasn't sure if they'd be staying." I bit my tongue to keep the peace. But then came the summer trip to the amusement park. Eleanor bought VIP fast passes for all the real grandkids. When we got to the entrance of the biggest roller coaster, she looked at my kids and said, "You guys don't mind waiting in the normal line, right? It builds character." Jake ended up throwing his VIP pass in the trash and waiting in the 2-hour line with us, but Eleanor just scoffed and walked ahead. The absolute unforgivable final straw was Eleanor's lavish 70th birthday banquet. She rented out the entire top floor of a downtown hotel. At the end of the night, it was time for the big, formal generations toast. She called all the grandchildren up to the stage. Mia and Sam started walking up, so proud in their little formal outfits, holding hands. But Eleanor held up her palm, stopping them right in their tracks. "Oh no, sweethearts," she said into the microphone, echoing across the completely silent room. "This photo is just for the blood relatives, the legacy. You two can go grab some cake from the back table." Sam started sobbing right there on the carpet. Mia just looked at the floor, her little shoulders shaking. I didn't just walk over. I stomped. I snatched the microphone right out of Eleanor's perfectly manicured hand. "Excuse me!" I yelled, my voice ringing out over the massive speakers. "If my kids aren't part of this family's legacy, then neither is your son." Eleanor gasped. "Don't ruin my night with your hysterics," she hissed. I ignored her completely and turned to Jake. He was standing near the cake, totally shell-shocked. "Jake," I said, pointing directly at the elevator doors, "I am taking our kids downstairs. You have exactly 10 seconds to decide if you are a son to this woman or a father to these kids." The silence in that ballroom was deafening. Eleanor smirked, crossing her arms, fully believing her golden boy would never leave her big party. But Jake didn't hesitate. He slammed his champagne glass down on a table, walked right past his mother, and scooped a crying Sam up into his arms. He grabbed Mia's hand, looked dead at Eleanor, and said, "You just lost a son." We walked onto that elevator and never looked back. It's been 6 months of complete silence, but last weekend, Jake was teaching Mia how to ride her new bike. She fell, scraped her knee pretty badly, and he patiently bandaged it right up on the porch. She looked at him with tears in her eyes, wrapped her arms around his neck, and whispered, "Thank you for choosing us, Dad." She is 12 years old, and she finally knows what a real father is.